virtual server environment. As Paul has been working with me quite closely over the last month to make this migration as easy and as seamless as possible, what you guys are going to notice is that there's only a few different changes in terms of what you guys will be experiencing. One of the major changes that we're going to see is just the way that we log in. We have a much more convenient and a much more steady and secure way for you guys to log into your server. What we're going to go ahead and do is, first and foremost, go ahead and explore the different avenues in which we can log in. We're going to go ahead and utilize KDV's website to go ahead and log in. What we can do is go ahead and make Paul our presenter here, and we'll go ahead and launch directly from his computer. So Paul, I'm going to go ahead and send you a request making you the presenter and requesting keyboard and mouse control. If you can go ahead and grant us that, everybody will be watching Paul's screen to launch from here. Okay, so as Paul closes out of his applications there, we're going to go ahead and log on to KDV's website. So we're just going to go ahead and simply type in the web address, www.kdv.com. And here we'll find. Now what you'll notice here is that Paul's been able to embed a couple of different login portals as well as an installer. So a couple of different things I'm going to cover today. I'm going to cover how we log into the server utilizing the website, and then we're going to go into how to download the Microsoft installer, which will embed all of the cloud's applications into your own personal start menu there. So what we're going to go ahead and do is first log into the server. Now, I'm going to be using Paul's credentials to log in here. Okay, everybody has different credentials, which means different viewing privileges. The majority of the people on this call are going to be considered client users as well as admin or clients. So your experience may be a little different, but I think you'll get the gist of it. So once we're at this portal, what we're going to go ahead and do is type in our username and password. But before we do so, we want to go ahead and check the appropriate security box. We have this additional security feature due to the fact that the cloud environment is accessible from anywhere in the world. So you could technically be, anywhere that has web access, and you could log into your server. So what you're going to do is go to KDV's website and then log in. Now, what this disallows is the ability to store things like usernames and passwords. If you are not at your home computer or in a safe environment, in the computer in which you use every day to access the server, you want to disallow the ability to store those types of things. So by typing this is a public or shared computer, this will disallow the ability to save usernames and passwords. Since I know I'm working on Paul's home computer or his work computer, this is a safe environment for me to go ahead and store his user credentials on. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and type in his username, which is kdv1.kdv, and his password, which obviously I'm not going to broadcast. And we're simply going to go ahead and log in here. Now, when we log in, we have some additional features on here that your client users won't see. Your clients will go ahead and be looking at the e-dashboard. You'll have Word, and you'll have Excel, and you'll have your cloud files. You'll also have your respective QuickBooks applications available to you. Now, when we log in through that web portal, what we're actually looking at is this launching pad. And what we'll need to do from this point is go ahead and launch the application. So each one of these are sitting in this website, and if we want to go ahead and utilize the application, we simply have to launch it. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and launch the e-dashboard. When the e-dashboard pops up, we will need you. It will ask you if this is a trusted website, and you want to go ahead and check that box. Paul's already logged on and had that pop-up disappear for him. He's asked them not to ask him again. So that won't happen. So what will happen is you'll seamlessly go ahead and launch the e-dashboard. Now I know that the majority of us are already familiar with the e-dashboard. All of the data was migrated off of the old server about an hour ago. And all of the information will be found from the old server on your new location. So what you'll be able to do is to interactively launch. Looks like meeting is full. That was contained on the old server has been migrated over, and it will be found in your new location. Okay. Now, when we launch the applications, we can go ahead and actively launch Bill.com. We can launch QuickBooks. Sorry, Paul, did you want to say something? We will broadcast. So we will be broadcasting this launch and training on YouTube, so everybody will be able to find this launch and training here with relative ease. And Paul will be sending out an email as to where to find this broadcast on YouTube post-launch and training. So we have our e-dashboard. I don't want to go into too much detail here. I know you guys are all pretty comfortable with it, but I do just want to provide an initial review. What this e-dashboard does is it does allow us to provide a data management system. Okay, it is also a file management system. And what that means is we have the ability to keep our naming conventions congruent, and we also have the ability to keep your file paths symmetrical from not only company to company, but from year to year. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is find the 99 demo company, which should be embedded down here. I'm going to work in this 99 demo company down here as to not mess with any live and active files. But what I've also done is populated this inbox. Now, this inbox has the ability to receive documentation via fax. If we wanted to dedicate an e-fax line to that inbox, we can scan it directly from your local scanners directly into that inbox. We can email, should you find it necessary to set up an email account to go directly into there. But most importantly, we can upload documentation directly from our local computers onto the network. Once they appear in this location, you can then utilize the naming convention and the file management system. And how we do that is by checking the appropriate document, finding the inbox, and we'll go ahead and label it. Now, what we'll label it as is whatever the document may reflect. So if we are working on somebody's taxes, for example, or if we're working on a payroll and we want to issue payroll reports, we can go ahead and label it as such. We'll go ahead and label it as May 31st as payroll report. And what you'll notice is that this information that I'm pulling from down here is actually defining the file path across the bottom, and it's also changing the naming convention. So that when I click File Document, this document here is going to be renamed and sent up to the payroll tab. It will also be filed under 2012 payroll reports. So we'll go ahead and file that document. That document is going to give us a warning, letting us know what it will be renamed to, as well as the file location. We're going to go ahead and click Yes. That document has now been sent out of that inbox into a 2012 a file with the naming convention has been converted. Now, also, as time goes on, and the more and more you utilize this data management system and the file management system, these file conventions will get longer and longer. Now, obviously, if we go into, let's say, bills, and we look at some predefined bills that we've got established over the last couple of years, these file paths can get rather long and cumbersome. But what we have is the ability to duplicate a year from one year to the next without going in and manually recreating the file paths. And what that creates is a symmetrical filing pattern from company to company and also from year to year. So when I go ahead and utilize this duplication button over here, it'll duplicate the 2008 year, and we'll create a 2010 year here. So we'll go ahead and click this device. We're going to go ahead and define the year we want to copy from, which will be 2008, and we'll define it into a 2010 year. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a new year and a new filing path. Now what that doesn't do, though, is import any of the data that is associated with the 2008 filing center. So what you can do is at the end of the year, duplicate your file pattern so that your filing system stays symmetrical and the naming convention is also going to be congruent. So when I come back to the inbox here, I can also send things like bank statements and store them on a monthly basis. What it will ask for is for us to define utilizing the information that we insert into the e-dashboard, which will define our file path and our naming convention. So what I'll go ahead and do is label this as, again, a May 31st bank statement. Okay, we can go ahead and define it as Bank of America, for example. I can go and drop it into the 1, 2, 3, 4, call it a statement, and drop that into the bank statements tab. It will ask for an ending balance. Obviously, you can do whatever you like there. And as I was inserting that information, it was defining the file path and the file name as well. So I can go ahead and file this document. That document will then leave that inbox, and it will give us that last-minute warning there, letting us know where it will be named and what it will be, what the file path will look like. You can then follow that information down to the 2012 bank statement, etc. So you can kind of see how it keeps your naming conventions similar. Now, when you come back to the inbox and you want to name something else, if you were to select Bank of America, it will be cached, which means it will be saved in the computer's memory. Okay, so the next time you want to go ahead and utilize this, it will pull from previous entries. So it does allow you to, keep your naming conventions, as long as they want to stay on the system, they will be remembered in the eDashboard's cache. Okay. Now, also, with your respective company folders, we want to keep our QBW folders and the most recent one in our QuickBooks files. Okay, you're also going to notice that this correlates with eBusiness. When I launch the File Explorer button here in a second, we're going to see what an actual company folder looks like. Now, the company folders are actually what the eDashboard looks to generate the information and to store it. So when I go ahead and store my QBW folders in the eBusiness folder, I know that my bookkeepers or the owners of companies or my tax advisor will know that the QBW file that's found in the eBusiness folder will always be the most recent data entry version of that file. Okay. Now we also have a couple of miscellaneous folders here. It's called eCoach and eDesk. These are meant to store your Word and Excel documents. Now, these are more meant to be kind of miscellaneous folders. Obviously, you can utilize these tabs across the top, as you see, or how you can integrate it into your day-to-day operations. But these Word and Excel, obviously, these are just kind of miscellaneous tabs that will allow you to store different types of documents here. Now, the one thing that you will notice when I launch this File Explorer button is the fact that we're looking at what's known as a company folder. You'll see some similarities here with the company folder and the actual eDashboard itself. When I look into eBox and I see eBox up here on the top left, I know when I open up this box, I'm going to see 7 different folders in there that represent these tabs. So I go ahead and open up eBox. I have those respective folders. So I can go ahead and download information directly from here, or I can upload information directly onto this filing system. So as an example, what we can go ahead and do is use this test folder, okay, and we're going to go ahead and download it to Paul's desktop. And how I do so is by simply highlighting the document. I copy it. I will then minimize the desk, or get to the desktop or the location that I want to store this document. And by right-clicking and pasting that document, we are effectively transferring documentation from the server to his local desktop. So the component that allows us to go ahead and make that type of transfer is known as your clipboard. I'm sure we're all familiar with Control-C and Control-V, Control-X, etc. Well, that actually stores things in your clipboard, and we are utilizing this information to actually transfer documentation from one location to the other. So this is a test document. Obviously, I just took this off of the demo account. Now, if I wanted to, let's say, find this document on my local desktop or my local computer, and I want to copy it up to the server, I will then navigate through the server and find the appropriate location. So if I wanted to, let's say, store this directly into that banking folder that I had found previously or that I had established with Bank of America, because I know this statement is a Bank of America, I know this document is a Bank of America account, I can go ahead and just follow the path location, and I can right-click and paste that document in there. Now, you'll notice that document is not staying in the same naming convention. So if we wanted to, again, utilize the naming convention, we would then just go ahead and drop it into the 99 Demo Company's inbox, which would then allow us to utilize the naming and the filing convention. So we'll go ahead and go into the inbox this time, and at the end, I'm just going to go ahead and drop this test document in there. So that document has effectively been transferred from the eDashboard to Paul's desktop. I then grabbed it from the desktop and then uploaded it into the 99 Demo Company eDashboard. Okay. Now, I have just been advised that we have about 50 people logged into the old server. In order for us to make the final data transfer, I am going to ask that everybody log off the old server right now. I'm information from Paul's local desktop into the inbox, and you'll notice that it was not stored in that payroll or in that banking section as the name that we want to use it as. So I did go ahead and upload it directly to the actual demo company's inbox. We're going to go ahead and label it as banking. Now this time what I'm going to go ahead and do though is I'm going to label this as the previous month, April 30th bank statement. Bank of America, new, same account number, okay. We're going to call it the same avenue. And this one's got $400 in it. So when I file this document, it effectively gets filed into the same location, but it's going to have a different date on it and a different name. So it allows you to still utilize the same naming convention, keep your filing and your filing system symmetrical, and also keep the files in the same location. So you can see the difference between me uploading it directly and then using the naming convention. Okay, so that's effectively what the eDashboard is meant for. It allows you to go ahead and as well as launch QuickBooks directly from over here in these hyperlinks, or these quick launch buttons. You can launch any of these applications directly. We can also go ahead and utilize, our help desk, should the need be. Okay, what we can go ahead and do is simply launch on the help desk, and this will take you over to cloud9help.com. Now, a couple of things I do want to point out. For our launch and training today, we have been advised that tech support will be available during normal working hours. We are available from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Okay? Any technical support questions have been asked to be sent directly to helpdesk@kdv.com, and that will allow Paul to go ahead and set up a communication with Cloud9. So any type of problems you have, we'll just need you to address them there. Next thing I'm going to go ahead and cover right now is the actual MSI installer. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do now is embed this login portal, or these applications, into a folder that will be found on the desktop. Now, how I'm going to go ahead and provide this is by going to KDV's website again. We're going to go ahead and sign out of this cloud environment, and we're going to go ahead and hit back, and we should go directly to kdv.com. Now, that was the portal we used to host a QuickBooks login. Now, when we want to go ahead and install, we're just going to go ahead and install the client version. It will take a second to download, and you'll see it pop up. We'll go ahead and run this application. Now, you may get a security warning. What you want to do at this point is just simply click through the security warnings. You do trust this installer, so it's a safe install. Now, Paul's actually previously already installed this, so what we need to do on his is simply open up the KDV's start menu. Now, he's already installed it. When you guys go through that, you will just need to finish out the default. It takes about 30 seconds to install. Once it has completed its installation process, you'll simply open up your start menu and navigate down to the KDV website, okay, or the KDV folder. What you'll notice is that you will have the applications that are pertinent to your login available in this location. So if we wanted to simply open up the eDashboard from this location, we can do so by clicking on it. And what will happen is it will launch the remote application, effectively opening the line of communication between your local computer and the actual server, and it will actually launch the eDashboard directly from your start menu. Now that holds true for any of the other applications as well. Now, give us a second. Well, I think you were logged in there, and I think what we're trying to do is double log in there. That's why the remote application's having a hard time. I just need to get KDV off of there, and it will launch this time. Paul was logged in a number of different times, so we just need to close his session, open up the KDV, hit the eDashboard. and it will effectively launch. Now, we can then go ahead and launch the QuickBooks files if we need to. We can launch Internet Explorer. It's a little redundant at this point. You'll probably want to keep your web browser in your local environment. It'll work a little bit smoother. But you can also open a PowerPoint, Outlook, or any of these applications. So with that said, we'll go ahead and try to launch a different application. Now, we'll give you one word of warning with these MSIs. These are called Microsoft installers. If you are trying to perform a sync on this from this location, please do not try it from the MSI. Do it from the cloud environment. That'll work a lot smoother for you. I know that we have Bill.com and Sync Dashboard. Obviously, if you are running those syncs, we want to do that from the cloud environment, not from the MSI. But we can effectively launch these applications. Now, I want to show you what these are going to look like. They're going to launch like as if they're launching locally. They're going to look and feel like they are. But however, you will notice a little difference. You'll see a little remote window at the bottom. This is letting you know that this is pulling in resources from the data from this actual server, as well as data itself. Okay. Next thing I'm going to go ahead and show, we're going to circle back to our Cloud9 Help Desk. Okay. Not launching. We'll open up QuickBooks 2011, just make sure it's working. So then it effectively opens up QuickBooks, and you're going to see that QuickBooks is going to look and feel as if it's launching from your local environment. However, it will be launching from the server. So we'll just take a second to complete the launch. And there we are. So then at this point, we can go ahead and start utilizing QuickBooks in any fashion we see fit. So we're going to go ahead and close that down here for just a second. And I'm going to go ahead and then circle back to our website. And then I'll let you guys go for the day. Now, should any problems occur with your login credentials, or if you have any type of functionality problems, please refer to our Cloud9 Help Desk. Okay, Cloud9 Help is available, again, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. We have full-time tech support that is accessible via our chat desk. You can also give us a call directly through our tech support window. Again, Paul has asked that the majority of your questions go through helpdesk.kdv.com. But should you need additional help over the weekend, please contact our technical support team by submitting a ticket. If you need to, just go ahead to Cloud9 Help, go to the submit a ticket. You will be asked a few questions as to the problem you're receiving. Most importantly, when you are receiving an error message, please try to capture that image with a snippet or a print screen and then upload that image to us so we can see what type of problems you are having. Other than that, I believe you guys are going to be pretty well set. I know that the usernames and passwords have changed a little bit. But other than that, I think you guys are pretty well set for a live launch of training. All of your data has been migrated. So I do welcome the rest of you to Cloud9 and wish you guys a pleasurable experience.